Yes, sir. People, break it in. We are here on the first of the month of June. What a marvelous month, guys. I have an absolute banger. You're going to want to make sure you're here for every second of this to the newcomers. I do not miss. I promise you're not going to miss this, guys. Listen, y'all got about 15 minutes for me to borrow your time and update you on your riches.
Yes.
Good deal, folks. This is going to be an absolute banger, but it started off properly. To any naysayer that denied the information, I need proof, my brother. Let's get down straight to the information. Y'all already know. You're here with your favorite host, the chocolate Confucius, yes. Wow. Mr. 79 Thoughts. That is correct. The original V12er. That's correct. The undisputed champion of due diligence. And for those that naysay me, you can just call me the ultimate. That is Money Montgomery, y'all. Dial straight into this information. This is a banger. Me and my constituents, my youngins, have been talking about this over the last couple of days, guys. There have been statements that have been made, and there have been price predictions that have been told to you in the last couple of days, and most people miss it because you've got to understand, if you're not a Riddler type S person, you're going to miss this information, but it's the only way that an institution can tell other institutions or those that are understanding what's going on. Let's tap down to what I mean specifically, guys. Listen, Bitcoin at 105,152, again, above all-time highs. That all-time high was made at 111,000, making those supports above, showing us again we have a bunch of bullish nature coming in. XRP sitting down at $2.17. Again, thank you. Hey, keep it right there. I know what's going on here, right? We looked at it from both things. We said, oh, wait a minute. At what point they were saying XRP was following Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin went up above all-time highs, and new all-time highs is sitting at where previous all-time highs were. So if we're following Bitcoin, XRP should realistically be somewhere around about 320, right? $3 at the least. So we know it's not following that narrative. So it's following the utility. Well, no, that can't be so, because we know that Solana has a fraction of the utility of XRP, and it's sitting at $156. The stockpile of money alone quotes at a higher number than $2.17. Well, this all lines into what I've been telling y'all the whole time. This is them stalling. This is called market manipulation and price manipulation. But you've got to look at this from a couple different angles. Me, the way I think, I said, wait a minute. So if we know now they're just flat out holding the price at a range, why? Right? And there's only one reason why. It is because the price of when they switch this thing on is going to be so egregious that it's not going to make businesses to be able to buy in at the bulk price they are now. These banks that are coming on, these new countries that are utilizing, they're collecting at the 217, because when they flip this switch, it's going to some unheard of number to where they don't even want to go above $2. They know what the move looks like, right? And now, about 5 or 6, 7 months ago, there was already talks where they was like, hey, there's an agreed upon price where when this comes online, it needs to be, because we've already seen where systems lag and the ledger freeze and things of this nature when people are buying in volume at $2.17. That's not even a fraction of the amount of money that moves through banks on a day. So we knew that there had to be an agreed upon price, right? Well, and I said, well, people say 2,000, this. I locked in on what the agreed upon price is. $589 as far as the kickoff start when they flip this switch. And I tell people, they're like, Brandon, it's not going to. I'm like, guys, you're expecting to do a slow walk up of 5, 6. And I told y'all it's not going to be that. It's going to be you woke up, it was $30. Just like we saw with Bitcoin, that went from 79,000 to 111,000. People still wondering what happened. And then touched all-time highs and came back down. You would have missed it if you had your eyes closed for last week, right? Well, let's lean into what would maybe make me think that, guys, there's a lot of stuff that's dropped. And guys, follow along. I need you to put your brains on. Has everybody got their brains on? Everybody got your brains on? Good. Sorry, I'm quick-handed. Somebody was getting smart back there. I just had to give it to him. Now, come through with me. David Joe Schwartz, a.k.a. Nataki Oshimoto, or whatever his name is, the creator of Bitcoin here, dropped out and coach. He loves these subliminals. Blah, 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 blah. You see this equation, right? Now, thank you, AI. We don't need to do this. So, guy says, Grok, solve, please, the equation. Grok says, derivative claiming I equals negative I is a mathematical fallacy, starting with I, whatever the sign is, -1. The steps are correct until, again, 1/-1, a split, blah, 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 blah. And I know everyone's like, we don't know what this is. I got you. Somebody came through and broke it down. We're just going to follow through, which holds a positive real number, but not for complex numbers like -1. The error leads to I equals 1I. Ultimately, I equals, blah, blah, blah. We're not even going to do all this. Require a consistent branch choice. The fallacy highlights the need to be careful handling complex numbers. For more mathematical fallacies, blah, blah, blah. Now, somebody came down and said, hey, Nick Gear, thank you here, brother. Grok, explain to me like I'm 5. Guys, I love AI. This is beautiful. Look at this now. All right. Okay. Imagine there's a toy car that can turn left or right. The number I is turning left 9 degrees, and number I, negative I, is turning right 9 degrees. Both can lead you in the same spot after 2 turns, but left and right are different directions. And that's why you've ever heard them say 2 lefts don't make a right, but technically they do. The math trick says that I equals negative I is wrong because it mixes up left and right, like saying they're the same. They're not. It's like saying going up is going down. The mistake happens when we split square roots of negative numbers in a way that doesn't work, like cutting pizzas. So wrong. So I and I are different, even if they seem similar at first, right? And now again, what this further broke down to, let me see if he broke it down here. Weigh in. This is another Gork, right? The claim, and we'll come down to the good part here. A classic teaching tool highlight to need to evaluate complex numbers. And there was one more breakdown where they were saying, what this alludes to is that something can seem one way, but it not be that. Something can, you can seem like you're right, but be completely wrong is what this whole math equation is too. It's a mathematical equation to show you, hey, it looks like it's right. This has got to be it, but you're completely wrong. And he's dropping that about what, in what context. Now, I want y'all to all bring this together. And shout out to Jack the Rippler. I'm taking your thumbnail. It just lines up with exactly what I was going to be talking about. It's perfect. Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse urges unity among Bitcoin, XRP, and broader community after the skull of Satoshi is donated. Now, this was May 28th. Again, that came out on May 28th as well. So they, right when he drops that information, now again, okay, you make quick in it, guys. You're slow if you don't get it. So now, who is he talking about? We're talking about XRP. Let's see how we know we're talking. So he drops that. What happens as well? Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse urges unity among Bitcoin, XRP, and broader community after the skull of Satoshi is donated. Now, guys, hold on. Wait a minute. Pause. The skull of Satoshi is a relic for Bitcoin. Now, I told y'all people, I've been screaming the whole time, David Schwartz is Nataki Hashimoto. First off, there's no way the internet has no pictures of this guy, right? And again, that bald spot missing on top of David Schwartz's head told me everything that I need to know. That guy made Bitcoin, and he came over and made Bitcoin 2.0. Hence why they had the relic of Bitcoin in their head. Now, somebody be like, oh, wow, that's crazy. That's cool. No, guys, like my young Kenny put on, Kenny said, Brandon, that's like them saying, hey, here's your king's head. Woo! Chills. Let me show you guys. This is how they do this over here. This is the Riddler, the mind game, the da-da-da. Here's your king's head, right? Like the king is falling. Here's the king's head back. We donate. Now you got to understand, why would Ripple have the head of Bitcoin over there? Because the head of Bitcoin's over here, right? So now they donate the head of Bitcoin over to the museum. Now, cool statue. Here it is, video. Everybody tune in. Fair use, fair use, fair use. Here is the skull of Satoshi, again, donated from Ripple to the Bitcoin Museum. Oh, by the way, here's your king's head. So now, if it may, what it got to say, you might think you got it all the way right and be completely wrong. Another subliminal. Here's your king's head. Literally. Here's your king's head. And I said, wait a minute. Guys, is nobody going to bring the fact that we had their king's head and nobody said anything? God. Hey, if you were ever confused on who Nataki Hashimoto is, I called it from Jump Street and I have not missed. David Joel Katz Schwartz is Nataki Hashimoto, the creator of Bitcoin and also the creator of my V12. Mama, I'm bringing it home. Keep pushing on through. I just want y'all to hear the clip. This is a cool thing, though. Bunch of RAM sticks, motherboards, all this. Now, we follow along further with more information. Now, I told y'all the agreed upon price. I was like, no. Now, I want y'all to tell me again, you know, you might be slow. So, hey, for my slow ones in the back, here's just another coincidence to follow along with it. Now, as everybody knows, this is Brad Garlinghouse official account. 589 is a number in the community. People are like 589, 589. They always use 589. Joel Catsword, David will drop numbers that equal to 589. 589 is because there's our agreed upon price. CEO Brad Garlinghouse, 102.1 million followers and follows 589, and he keeps it at that number, right? Well, would y'all believe what popped up? Now, as everybody knows, we had an acquisition, Hidden Road, that massive exchange is going to be utilizing XRP to sell out all the transactions. Guys, guess what came out? The address of Hidden Road headquarters is 589 Fifth Avenue in New York City. Hidden Road Prime Brokerage that was recently acquired by Ripple for $1.25 billion, right? And again, everybody's back saying, "Oh, can't be so." Here's the address: 589 Fifth Avenue North, New York, 100. I said, "Oh my God, guys, they've been telling you the whole time." So now I've got my confirmation over here. Wait a minute. So now it's not moving off the utility, it's not moving up the news or the Bitcoin. Okay, good. So now that's my confirmation. Y'all are holding it there. Why? Because it's going to a certain number. We know they talked about it had to be an agreed upon number already to kick off. When you talk about the 10,000s as it builds out in 2033 and it's 19 trillion market cap, we talking about right now for the deal with Japan and all the banks and all that. 589. It's going to 589, right? Or you just believe that they just keep acquiring and putting this 589 number out in front of you. Guys, we'll look at it next year. It's not going to go above 589. He does not follow more than 589. He will unfollow people to keep it at 589. But lining even further, just so everybody knows where we are in this timestamp. Uphold just announced. You asked, we listen. Uphold is exploring ways to unlock yield on XRP, including testing XRP, staking through Flare Networks assets. Welcome to the world of smart contracts, DeFi opportunities. So now again, another XRP futures, staking, yields are coming on. We've seen multiple of these exchanges and even banks now talking about. CME just launched, right? Guys, we are in that window. I'm telling you now, they're giving you all the messages they can. I mean, like I said, if you don't get it now, you never will. But understand that's fine because somebody got to clean me and my youngest V12. And it's not going to be me. Time too valuable. And you had the option too, guys. They're putting it in your face. It's in your face, right? Keep following through. What else? Uphold just announced. You wanted it. We waited. It's happening. The Uphold card is officially coming back to the U.S. We've been working behind the scenes, and it's almost time. Details coming soon. So now, futures, we know that this XRP and how money movement is about to change, right? I told y'all these exchanges would be banks, right? And I told you Ripple is a mega international global bank, right? Well, here we are. It's all lining up. And again, back to back to back to back to back. Ahead of a stinger month, if you will, right? June. But before we tap into why I say June is a stinger month, right? Let's tap into, this was the Bitcoin 2025 rally. The thing I've been telling y'all, and the same thing that they've been telling y'all, and I've just been telling y'all what they've been telling y'all. If you're in these meme coins, you're going to lose your pants and miss out on the run. This is a utility bull run. You heard it here first, and you hear it here every single time. This is a black swan event, but a utility bull run. You wanted regulation. Regulation is on utility coins, stable coins. But now here are, again, figureheads in the space of crypto that are successful, have been doing it years, lining in the same thing. Let's see what they have to say. We're not going to watch full clip. Fair use, fair use. Fair use.
The Bitcoin Magazine News Desk presented by Mara. You just watched Seyfedina Moose, author of the Bitcoin Standard on the Fiat Debt Spiral. We've got a packed panel here to break it down. We've got American Hodl to my left. To his left, we've got Aaron from Altcoin Daily. And finally, last but not least, Austin from Altcoin Daily. American Hodl, over to you. There's this idea now in Bitcoin land, in the Bitcoin world, that alt season is over, publicly declaring that institutional capital is broadly favoring an allocation to Bitcoin, and there will not be a retail return to the kind of products you've seen like meme coins or NFTs as in past cycles. Is alt season over?
In my opinion, yeah, alt season is over. I think that alt season has failed to find a narrative. I think meme coins kind of gave up the game on alt season, which is, hey, this is all just a game of hot potato. You got to pass this to the next guy before you get stuck holding the bag.
And that's what I told y'all. Now again, meme coins are always going to rally because the market's moving, but there's no utility. And the amount of rug pulls that happen, y'all go on Coinbase. Now I gotta do it with you. Just in a quick pause here. I want y'all to see what happens on a regular basis. Trending on DexScan. Let's do trending coins and see if it has it up here. So, Flock, these up 100%, 400%, gas, pass, right? These things walk up. There's one. Oh, see, now this is what they're gonna do. These things walk up and then they'll rug pull the pass off. And this happens every single day. Let's see if we can find another one. Usually I see some up there 1,000%. Let's see if I can get it. Hold on one second. Here you go. Look at these. Just today. Just snap. I mean, and this is the regulation. This is the bad name of crypto where people are like, you lose all your money and then the rug pull and this regulation is knocking this down. You're going to have a purpose now, right? You have to have a purpose to be in this space. This is what we want. But those that are holding Pepe and this and that, you're going to be left pantsless. All right, respectfully, you're going to be left pantsless. This is the utility coin. All the regulation, all your government, stable coin, this, blah, blah, blah. They haven't said one thing about meme coins, right? All right, now here's people that are in the space, multimillionaires from crypto. What are they saying?
People can see it clearly. I mean, even the dumbest person you know knows that a dog picture on the internet is worth precisely $0. And so people can't buy into that narrative anymore. And so I think the new narrative, the narrative du jour, is going to be Bitcoin treasury companies, all these SPACs, you know, all of the MicroStrategy copycats, you know, things like...
Well, we'll get to Bitcoin treasury companies. I want to give Aaron and Austin a chance to defend the position. Obviously, meme coin hype cycle over. Maybe there isn't a new narrative right now. Are you bullish on an alt season, whereas the Bitcoiners are not?
You know, alt season as we know it, I don't think it's going to happen where, you know, it was this wealth effect.
And this is what I tell people. With the markets, the crypto market's going to walk up. In those meme coins, if they don't get eradicated by regulation, they will have small pumps. But we're talking about the comparative in retaining the gains, right? That's what the thing we're talking about.
People holding Bitcoin, it went up Bitcoin, we felt wealthy, so some people were like, I'm going to put some of my gains into lower cap coins. Meanwhile, new people came in going, well, I missed the boat on Bitcoin. I'm going to put, you know, my money into these lower cap coins. I think that's always going to happen. That's just human psychology, but not every alt will go up. There's plenty of crap out there, as American Hodl just stated, and the fact is, there will be altcoins that make it farther than others. I mean, Bitcoin Magazine loves to share Matt Hogan of Bitwise or Larry Fink on how bullish they are on Bitcoin, but those guys are just as bullish. You can find them talking about Ethereum or certain coins specifically as well.
What other coins?
I'm not saying it's right or wrong, but
what
the
other
fact
coins?
is Wall Street is adopting crypto.
It's the Bitcoin, it's the Bitcoin conference, guys. You can't expect them to just say XRP. We just gave y'all's king's head. I mean, that's all we need to say. The statement was made at this conference.
Was the intellectual vanguard of the industry now a bit broken? No thesis, no narrative, openly kind of wondering what's next. Austin, your take?
I think Bitcoin is fundamentally different. There's a huge Bitcoin conference for a reason. None of these altcoins, which are highly speculative, would be here without the value that Bitcoin brings, and then the rising tide lifts.
Hey, here's your king's head.
Oh! I will say, for me personally, like, there's a lot of fundamental on-chain and even macro Bitcoin charts that I think all of us agree on with the MVRV. Like, Bitcoiners love charts like this. For me, where my goal is to accumulate more Bitcoin and just learn about the space in general, I personally believe in one more chart, which is the Bitcoin dominance. Humans will human. Eventually, Bitcoin dominance will go down. And at the end of the
it's happening right now, actually. Hey, here's your king's head. Literally, the Bitcoin dominance chart is showing Bitcoin is down. To who? Here's their king's head, I said.
Holding more Bitcoin.
Just hold it over there.
Right, we've seen the 16 years of narratives. We've seen them come and go. American Hodl, haven't we seen enough from the altcoin world?
Absolutely. Kill them all with fire.
Austin and Aaron, your
just
thoughts?
lobbed American Hodl straight down the middle. Don't you think they should all die? Hell yeah.
Well, I mean, in terms of defensible things, you know, you're
Bitcoin Maxi, but again, here's your king's head. That's what I was going to say.
Austin, Aaron, I mean, all
right, but that's just, I want everybody to understand. Again, and guys, Bitcoin is going to be one of those ones. So don't understand, think Bitcoin is going to be a flop out. But there's a new big boy in town. The dominance is changing again. As he said, Bitcoin's at 105,000. There's the Bitcoin 2.0. You can buy at $2.14 currently, $2.17. That does everything Bitcoin does faster. Oh, and here's your king's head. Guys, stay locked in. I'm telling you, we're in that window of something diabolical happening right now. But if you don't believe me, let's cut back down straight back into the facts of it, right? June. Why I say it's stinger month again? Remember Dubai saying they were tokenizing their real estate on the XRP ledger? Well, let's kick in. We're less than 30 days away from June 23rd. Mark the calendar, people. June 23rd, an official onboarding of one of Dubai's largest real estate developers, Dubai something. Soon users will have the opportunity to earn on every real estate transaction facilitated through DMAC. And I told y'all guys, this is the future of value. Real estate, everything, knowing live time what your house is worth, getting paid day to day, not every 2 weeks. Guys, hey, I told my mama, I told my daddy what I told him. I'm bringing it home. In parallel, our team has initiated the development of a proposal for the acceptance of crypto trading funds payment rewards. This is the CTF. I'm not worried about that down there. But again, June 23rd is when they officially will have launched and have Dubai tokenizing the real estate on XRP ledger. Massive move. Money. So we know June 23rd. What else? Legal experts pinpoint crucial date for XRP holders. June 16th. So June 16th, what are they talking about up here? Let's scroll down here. Legal battle between Ripple Labs and U.S. Security Exchange Commission, SEC, may see a notable procedure step in the coming weeks. Legal experts on XRP advocate Bill Morgan has drawn attention to June 16th, the date when the SEC 60-day deadline to submit a status update on the court's appeal will end. So again, the deadline now for the SEC, remember, we've already come to the point where the SEC and everybody wants to settle. The judge like, hey, hold up. I told y'all with security, they shouldn't be paying anything. Well, now, here we go for our next update coming up on June 16th. Now, there's a deadline on it. Hey, we can't push back. We need an answer. June 16th. So June 16th, June 23rd, Dubai magically is fully on the XRP ledger. It'd be crazy if there was no legal or tariffs or problems at that point too, right? Y'all follow along with me? Is anybody following along with me? Hello? Hello out there? I'm just rich and I'm sorry. All right, here we go. Just in, SEC to hold conference on digital assets tokenization win on June 5th. BlackRock, Flaker, Typical, and Fidelity will participate. Bullish. So here we go. June 5th, June 16th, June 23rd. Hey, does it smell like something happening this month? Hello? Is anybody out there? Now let's finish off with this. Get this edited up. Guys, I hope that you're having a great day. Understand you're rich. Do not be funded out of your coins. I'm telling you right now, I'm willing to fight a bear behind one XRP right now. One XRP on that cold storage, you're going to have to take my life behind it. That's what I'm telling you. I know what I'm holding. Breaking. JD Vance says, we fired Gary Gensler and we're going to fire everybody like him. Just again, when I told y'all this was a black swan event, right? My first initial cue was when the president and the government were locked in on this. Here we are.
Maybe the most important thing that we did for this community, we reject regulators and we fired Gary Gensler, and we're going to fire everybody like him.
Yeah! Woo! And I just stand on that principle to tell everybody, guys, ISO 222 is coming. Your government's in lockstep with Ripple for what's coming. Everybody outside is putting all their tokenizations on your ledger, and now your CEO is coming and putting the head of the fallen king on their table. Guys, it smells like V12. Listen, much love, family. Up above 2,000, like I said, guys, we are taking this channel to places far, far beyond. And like I said, for those that hear, y'all know I'm dropping nothing but bang information. Please make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Keep the channel going so I can keep upsetting these people out here. I need 100,000 people up here because these people out here ain't dropping no information like this. They're not bringing it together. Who's bringing it together like I am? Y'all know what time it is. Oh, yes, sir.